Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast. We eat sandwiches and play games. Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast. A podcast for everyone's taste.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Taste of Dragons, the Toddcast, the video game podcast that all you champions listen to. This week, the Red Light District is turning the game into Cybersnacks. The news is being done awesomely quick. Our topic is going to be delicious. And our dragon this week has gadgets for every Robert. Game company, Toys for Bob. And as always, I'm the guy who chomps chains, Brian.
And I'm just a dude whose hand turned into a strawberry and is now rethinking all of his life choices. My name is Troy.
I'm snug as a bug in a Cyberpunk game. And I'm Manda.
I'm shooting people in the Old West. I'm Lewis.
And I'm the person who likes to watch and game, Joe.
Oh. I would like to remind everyone, because I know we've been, or at least I've been forgetting to remind everyone that we are doing this remotely. We have been for the last, couple of months, guys? How many months has this been?
I don't know,
Too many.
man. What is a month?
Right?
Turns out there's a plague happening, and it's still happening. This plague is officially that friend at the party that you're just like, yo, like...
Like, I got work in the
gone.
morning, and like...
Hey, do you have a ride? Can I call somebody?
Can I get you a cup of coffee or something? You know, just get...
Or you want one more drink? Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Just one more. God, and you're texting your friend, like, please text me in 5 minutes with an emergency. Just make it up. Make
Whatever
it dramatic.
it is, just please. But yeah, we're doing it remotely, and we also did a little twist on it as well, because before it was just Troy, Amanda, and Joe and myself being in separate locations, and then Lewis was able to also get a separate recording device, so we were able to add him in on it too, which is great, because otherwise it'd be like no Lewis for like several months again.
Yes, it would be a very long time. I would just get texts about, good job, guys, good job, and I'd be like, cool, dope. I like listening to you guys talk. It's like I'm there, but not really.
What do you mean, middle school with my friends?
That got real dark real fast.
And specific. Looking at you, Robbie.
Well, speaking of dark and specific, let's get into our games this week.
What are you playing?
And you know what, Troy? Would you like to start us off this week?
Hell yeah, Brian. I played Bugsnax. Let's talk about Bugsnax. Can we talk about
talking about Bugsnax?
We're going to talk about
Bugsnax.
Bugsnax. Bugsnax is an adventure video game made by the studio Young Horses. Now, you may know Young Horses, or you may not, because this is the first game they've made.
Oh, so we probably don't.
But you kind of do, because they were formed out of the team that made Octodad.
I was about to
Remember
say.
that gangly game?
I do.
So Octodad was a game that was like had a really catchy song and was about an octopus who is trying to pass off that they're a father.
It had a catchy song?
Oh, Octodad. No one suspects a thing.
You made that up.
I 100% did not. And you know I didn't, because they made another catchy song for Bugsnax. So I was afraid when I was going into Bugsnax that this was going to be too much like Octodad, meaning it was going to be a really fun gimmick, you know, but then like after 15 minutes, like that's it. And then it just kind of wears thin. Bugsnax is not that. Bugsnax has got some heart, y'all. You play as this, what is it, a thwump?
It's a made-up word. I don't even know.
Yeah. A clumby. You're like this. You ever read the book?
Wait. Do you play as something that a plumbus gets made out of or something? What is this?
Are you playing as a clumsy
You're a
Gumby?
Clumby, according to
You're
Troy.
a grumpus. You're a grumpus.
You're a grumpus. That's what it
your
is.
Actual name.
Oh, now it makes sense.
We got to it.
That's the scientific name. They're kind of like, if you remember that book where the wild things are, picture the wild things, but like little cute bipedal versions of those. That's who you play as and who this entire world is populated by. And you're a journalist and you're about to lose your job and your boss is like, you better get a good story or else you're out. And you're like, I heard about this adventurer who found this island with these bugs who are also snacks and apparently things get weird. And he's like, whatever. She's like, I'm going to prove it. And you set off on this adventure to like have the case of the century and hit all the headline newspapers. And you get there and things have gone wrong. There's like this lovely little like scientific community that was like researching these Bugsnax. It's all fell through. Their leader is missing. Everyone has left their town and it's just in disarray. And it's your job to try and find them, interview them for the journalistic aspect, and also kind of bring them back together to find their leader. It was a great premise. I thought this was just going to be eat a bug that looks like a strawberry and then your hand turns into a strawberry because yes, that is also part of it.
I wish.
That sounds like the perfect game or the epitome of the year 2020 to me, at least.
Oh, like everything is wrong and then you have to like bring it all together through the power of journalism. So this game, when it was developed, was originally because they wanted to make a new Pokemon Snap. And so they made a bunch of little cute creatures that all kind of say their names as they run around. And this one person made a waffle pillar, which was a caterpillar made out of waffles. And everyone looked at him and were like, you are a genius. Yes. And
I have to agree.
And they changed the entire premise of their game to be that it's cute, it's fun. I highly recommend everyone checking it out. It's free on PlayStation 5 if you've got one. Bugsnax, y'all. It's beautiful.
Talking about Bugsnax. Nice.
Hell yeah.
What about you, Joe? What did you play this week?
I finally got to dig my hands into the Nintendo Special Edition Game & Watch.
Oh.
Ooh.
It was really cool.
That's the gold one.
Yeah, it's so cute. It's a little bit thinner than a Micro and a little bit taller than the Micro if you have a Game Boy Micro. But I clearly do like to play with the small, silly little things that Nintendo makes, so we were very excited about it when they were coming out. And I think they were coming out on the same day the PlayStation 5 was coming out, if memory serves me right.
I believe so,
or the same
yeah,
week. It was like within a day or
there,
two. So we were all hunting for PlayStation 5s and getting pre-orders for that. And I could not get a pre-order for the Game & Watch because they didn't have any.
Aww.
Nowhere had them. I looked all over the internet. I scoured. I was a little sad about it. I was like, oh man, I can't believe Nintendo's putting out a cool thing. I have a Game & Watch, like an original one. So I put like hours and hours and hours into that stupid Luigi juggling game. It's very fun. But it's goofy to want one, I guess. You know, it's silly. It was $50, but I really needed one. I needed it in my life. Finally, about a month goes by. Can't find it anywhere. We actually went to different stores to look for PlayStation 5s. I was looking for the Game & Watch as well. And, couldn't find it. All of a sudden, I get an email from Nintendo that's saying, like, hey, your gold points are going to expire. Do you want to use them? And I was like, oh,
Whoa.
yeah, sure. I better use them. They always expire. I never get a chance to use them. So, yeah, let me go buy a game or something. Let me see what your offerings are for these gold points, right? There's a really cute Animal Crossing yellow bandana that I was like, oh, dope. It's almost the exact number of points I need. This is wonderful. I'm going to hit click on that. I was like, do you want to buy anything else? And on the bottom part of it was the Game & Watch. And I was like, yeah, you guys don't have those. This is ridiculous. I click on it. Oh, they're in stock.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
If I want one, I just have to buy it. So I don't think...
So this is on the Nintendo, like, gold coin redemption screen?
That's correct. This is Nintendo's, like... My Nintendo Club, like that whole thing. Like if you just go to Nintendo, they have them. You can order them from them.
Was there a PS5 on there too by chance? Asking for a friend.
I didn't see one on there, but there might have been, and I just didn't see it. It's a
That would
possibility.
be so many points.
So many points.
There would be a lot of zeros behind what I don't have for platinum coins, most likely.
It was great because Joe's just like, she's like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm ordering this. Like, it wasn't even a question. It was just, hey, I'm ordering this, Brian. Be prepared.
Yeah.
Just a statement.
Be prepared.
I clicked the button on it. I don't think I've ever been happier to have Apple Pay sitting on my phone before. It was like 2 clicks, my face, and then it was done. It was going to ship it. And I was
It
like,
makes it feel like you're not even spending money.
It did. It was magic, but it would have been more magical had I had the proper address written in my thing.
Oh, no.
So it took a little while to
So
ship here.
it took a while to get here,
But
But
it
you know
got
what?
there.
It's here.
but it's here.
And you having fun?
Oh my God.
It's a pretty
Oh my
machine. That
It
gold
is really
and red,
nice.
like, it's a slick looking device.
I am very happy with it. Replaying Mario Brothers 1 on it that's the only game I have played so far. I've only played Mario. I'm trying to just kind of work through everything and slowly enjoy it. But
How many games are
it's
on
great.
there?
Mario Brothers 1, Mario Brothers 2, and it's got the Game & Watch collection. It's got the Luigi juggling game on it, and it's a watch.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's a game and a watch.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. It's great.
Find a way to wear it on your wrist. That's the goal.
Like a Pip Boy.
You know what?
Like a bit, yeah.
Like a big old
Like your
pit boy.
With the
Her whole
watches I
forearm.
used to wear, yes, it's all doable. Yes.
All right, well, awesome. So that was the Game & Watch Mario Brothers edition.
Yeah.
Nice.
Woohoo!
All right, I'll go next. This week, I actually played Destiny 2 Beyond Light. That's the newest expansion for Destiny 2. It felt pretty surreal / weird because this is the first expansion I didn't buy day one and wasn't playing day one. Just because day one was also PlayStation 5 and all the other stuff coming out. So I was like, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to play that at the same time. So this last week or two, I've been sinking time into it. And man, I love myself some Destiny. Destiny always comes back. It's like that warm hug that is just like, I don't know what I'm missing in my life. Let me just go over. Oh, is this a warm hug?
Yeah, despite the convoluted story and some of the balancing or PvP choices, just plain Destiny, the actual gameplay is just still so solid.
It really
it's
is.
such a great system, and all the gameplay itself, the actual shooting mechanics are still just top notch, amazing.
Grade A.
Nothing feels out of place.
Are they still doing that thing with the PvP and Iron Banner where you're like,
Yes.
maybe I'll get this armor, and then all of the tasks are like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm not going to do this. I don't care anymore.
Yes.
I
That's all
I
still
got
there.
through 2 of these, and now I don't care.
Yes, it is all still there. I think they've made it a little bit easier, but yeah, it's all still there.
Tell us about the ice powers. Are they
Ooh,
cool?
yeah.
Is it worth it?
It is okay. So they're pretty great. So they're called stasis powers. So depending on what class you are, they are different for each one of them. You have to get like stasified or whatever, and you unlock them. I know it's weird.
Stay certified.
But they are pretty fun. I have not progressed all the way to the end of the story, so I haven't like completely unlocked all of them. But the little that I have played at them are pretty fun. I have been, because I've been doing just like the strikes. I've been doing like, let me waste a couple of hours just doing basically nothing in a game.
But what do they do? What does stasis do? Is it like ice? Does it freeze them? Is it push
Yeah.
people back? What's the
Yeah.
idea? Like fire burns and like
Yeah.
electricity shoots. What does stasis do?
Yeah, depending on your class, they can. So the stasis does actually like encase them in a stasis, like basically it's like black amber, if you will. It's all these crystals shoot out at the ground, and it can either do damage to them or it can actually just trap them, and you can just shoot them a whole bunch.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And that was actually a big problem to begin with when it first came out, because I guess they didn't realize the PvP aspect of it.
I was
And
about to
you
ask
could
that.
actually just freeze players, a whole bunch of them, and that was it.
That's-
You would just kill
That's
them.
probably the only way I'd be able to shoot players because my aim is bad.
But yeah, no, I think they patched that out, or at least they fixed it a little bit. They made it a little bit better. But that is, yeah, I'm having a great time. It's great. I'll probably talk about it next week as well. I'm loving the game. I'm back.
All right,
Back, baby.
All right, you give me hope. You give me hope for Destiny.
That's right. So that was me, Destiny 2 Beyond Light. And then what about you, Amanda? What did you play this week?
So this week, I achieved the impossible. I completed Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh my God, that is the impossible.
You and
Impressive.
like 3 other people.
Yeah, I got credits.
Yeah, both in length and bugginess.
It was interesting to play a game with the bugs, but if I'm being entirely honest, we played Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, and then Cyberpunk, and I will admit that the week Cyberpunk came out, it was really rough, but in comparison to Assassin's Creed, now that I'm playing, it doesn't have more bugs. I know that it was like a big thing with the internet,
Yeah.
but like I hope it's not the PS5.
And in
Because
Watch
every
Dogs-
game I've played on the PS5 has had like shutdown,
Right.
buggy problems.
Yeah,
But,
true.
In Watch Dogs, it would crash every single time you tried to exit the game or like pause, and that was a
Wow.
PS4 game, and like the end of the PS4 as well. So yeah, I feel like Cyberpunk is not an anomaly for having a buggy game.
But
Yes.
to their credit, their autosave function is so good that anytime I crash out and come back in, I might have lost like 45 seconds. So it doesn't feel like I'm losing anything, and it takes such a small amount of time to load back in that it almost just feels like a loading screen.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
almost like just playing a game with loading screens. It is much more stable now.
What are your impressions now you finished the story? Like, what are you feeling?
I think that Cyberpunk, on a whole, I did really enjoy the game. There are certain aspects of the story that I absolutely love, and it is such a shame that this game had so many bugs because more people should be able to experience it. It's really phenomenal. But I do think that it suffers from a bit of like, I don't know if it quite found the niche in the identity of what the game was. Is on one side, some things are super customizable, and then on the other side, they seem to like want you to fit in this narrative. But then the end of the game, and this isn't ruining anything, is there's a bunch of different alternate endings that kind of lead down different paths, which was also like very open. And I feel like they either should have went one way by making a game about a single character where you're playing that story, or they should have went entirely the other way and made it very open.
Oh.
But that in-between place that they found, like the ending that I got, it was nice, but I was like, oh, I don't know if this really fit my character. Even though I really enjoyed the tone of the game, but there are like 5 other endings. So I'm probably gonna go back in and check out some of the other endings. So it wasn't
Okay.
like I wanted like this big finale to this game that I loved, and it kind of ended with like a boop boop boop.
I wonder. I'm pretty sure that they'll probably add DLC probably that will expand maybe some of the post game stuff.
Well, I do plan to go back in. You cannot play after the game is over, but you can do that classic video game like we'll load you to right before the last mission thing. And there are a bunch of different endings. So maybe I just made a bad choice and there's another ending in there that's really going to be like my ending. So I'm not done playing, but I did get credits. And the story's very interesting. They did a good job.
Cool.
Great. I look forward to experiencing that one day.
One day.
Yeah.
One day
One day.
someone will
Same.
be able to talk to me about it.
Yeah.
I really want to hear what the story is like because Brian hasn't played it in a bit either. So, one of these days,
Destiny calls me.
I would love to hear what happens at the end.
All right, cool. So that was Cyberpunk 2077. And then Lewis, finally, have you played like an amazingly different game this week? Or have you also gotten a nice warm hug?
Oh, no, man. You know it. I played a brand new release. That's right. New release, baby. Red Dead Online. So it's not really all that new.
Sounds like a warm hug. A
yeah,
warm,
it does.
bloody hug.
It was.
Yeah.
I've been going hardcore. I've been feeling like Troy in playing Red Dead Online in the sense that I am fully immersed in the world and just doing the most basic of basic everyday things. Like I go in and I'm like, all right, what do I have to do for my day? I'm like, all right, I'm at my camp, drinking, eating, and then I've been going hardcore on all the roles, like hardcore on collecting, trading. I'm like an established bounty hunter, like about to be like rank 20 bounty hunter.
Dang.
Nice.
Your
I
name
have-
is feared across the land.
I have like a bad. I look super cool in my outfit, like super bounty huntered out, different saddles. It's everything, and I do
So
like.
Are you, when you're playing, do you talk out loud while playing by yourself by chance?
No, that's one. Like I've run into some people that have tried speaking to me, and like they're hardcore role playing it. Like they're just like, "What are you doing out here?" And I'm like, I'm gonna just ride away. Leave me alone. I don't want to fight you. And then one of them like tries to rope me, and I went, well, I guess I'm gonna shoot you in the head immediately because you don't know I shoot randoms in the face. And headshots all around. And I played some PvP for the first time, and in playing that PvP, I'm like, I was deathly afraid. I was like, oh god, I'm gonna lose. I won.
Nice.
It was a free-for-all money grab kind of mode, and I was just running around. Every time I saw someone, I was shooting them in the head or in the body multiple times, and then I'm like, wait, I have explosive ammo. Okay. So I had 20 rounds, and I just shot everyone in one shot. Body part. It was great. And And I beat the online story because Red Dead Online has a story.
Yeah.
Where you can either play it if you have good honor or bad honor. I've done both ways completely.
Okay, cool.
So now I'm
Nice.
just trying to work my way so I can just get one item, which is a light that hangs off of the horse in collector.
Oh, I have that. It's amazing. It's the best.
That's all I want. That's literally what I'm working towards in everything. It's a lot. I've spent hours upon hours just like looking for trinkets. I'm not even doing anything super cool. I'm just looking for trinkets for hours on end.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, that's Red Dead Online. I'm enjoying it. And also, the game's it's a 2018 game, and it still looks better than some 2020 games.
Oh, it still looks,
I'm just
it
saying.
still looks amazing. It still looks amazing. I agree. All right, cool. So that was Red Dead Online. So that'll do it for our games. That brings us to our news segment. And this week, we're going to start with the Twitch emote PogChamp, as we knew it, is no more. After the person whose likeness it is based on said some not great things about what happened in DC this week, Twitch completely took it down, the Twitch emote PogChamp. They took it down for, I think, 48 hours, and then they came back and they're like, all right, we've decided it's going to be replaced with somebody's different likeness every 24 hours. It's going to change to somebody else.
I actually like that idea in general. Like, even if it, like, just because there's like 5 people's faces, I didn't even know they were real people in those emojis or whatever they're called, the emotes. But I like the idea of spreading the love amongst other big Twitch personalities that aren't like that person.
Yeah, exactly. And also, it doesn't bring undue attention to any one person, because this has been a Twitch emote since I think 2015, if I remember correctly, maybe a little bit longer. So, it's kind of a big deal, PogChamp, if it will, and it's become its own vernacular in the entire Twitch community. You just say Pog or you say Poggers or something like that. It just means that it's something awesome just happened, is what it means.
Okay, that's what it's for. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a hype moment. It's like,
Okay.
oh wow, this just happened, Pog. And
okay.
yeah. So if you ever hear somebody say Pog or Poggers, that means that it's what's going on is awesome, and they're happy.
Oh, so it's not just gibberish.
There's also a little
Cool.
Exactly.
It's like that moment when you go, what? Because that's the face he's making.
Exactly. That's
right.
exactly what it is. So yeah, I think that's actually pretty cool. That it's going to be somebody else every 24 hours. I think it's pretty awesome. And then also, Fall Guys is getting with the year 2021 and is becoming doomed. Starting Tuesday, you can get the Doom Slayer, also known as Doom Guy, as well as other costumes from the game Doom inside the actual game.
All right.
Like the game with all the demons
Yes.
and the
Yes.
and the blood and the chainsaws.
Yeah, you can become
That's
two of the
perfect.
demons.
That's perfect for Fall Guys.
It was only a matter of time.
It really was.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I said about Fall Guys: not enough blood. Not enough blood.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say not enough franchising, not enough like branching out, getting costumes in.
What they need to do is put the Fall Guy into Doom and just have
Oh my
flailing
gosh.
arms
Oh my
running
god.
around
He needs
with
to
like a
have
metal
side
soundtrack.
Awesome. And then also, rumor has it, Joe has some Nintendo news.
Yeah, there was a big leak this week for a possible more info on the Nintendo Switch Pro. It has a new name. The codename was Alua. And they're not sure if it's actually just a base for the game or an actual all-new Switch. But they're saying that it is going to have a OLED display. It's going to have full 4K. When docked, it'll be in full 4K. So playing a lot of the games will look even better now. There's a bunch of other random fun things about it that were just kind of interesting. And those were the two big ones, though. So, yeah, possible Switch super leak.
Is there like any credibility to this?
Yes, I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the person who leaked it right now, but it is the person who has leaked every single thing that's been happening with Nintendo for the Switch for the last 4 years.
All right, guys. I don't want to out myself, but it's me. I'm the guy. I'm that
I
one.
knew it.
It all along.
It's you.
Mm-hmm. Come at me, Nintendo.
goodness.
Please don't. Please don't.
Come
Is
at
there a
me, Nintendo.
picture?
There are no pictures yet. Just text
picture.
specs, and that's where I know, right?
Picture didn't happen, man.
I'm really
Right?
interested in. Brian and I were discussing it for the last day or so. I'm interested in if it's actually a new system or if it's just the base of a system, because it is just almost everything it's talked about has been about being docked. So
Right.
it'd be
I would
interesting.
love the idea of a plug and play upgrade. That would be game changing.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Game changing.
Ah.
Apparently the battery's supposed to be better. The screen's supposed to be better. Everything about it's supposed to be like a better, longer player time. So I hope it's true. That'd be really cool. And at the
that'd be
same
cool.
time, I'm never getting rid of my Animal Crossing Switch, so I don't even know what I'd do with the new one.
Because it's beautiful. So why would you get rid of
Yeah.
it?
Oh, it is. Right? And then Koei Tecmo filed charges against a person in Kanagawa, Japan, due to him selling a DVD of movies taken from a nude mod for Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
insane.
So basically, somebody on the computer or wherever, they applied a modification to the game that made all the characters nude. And so they took...
Aren't the characters in that game already pretty much nude?
They're basically nude. They're not... You don't see all of it. You just see, 98% of it.
Oh, tasteful.
Those bikinis are covering important bits.
That's right. But so what they did was they took movies from it. So, they captured footage from it. They put it on a DVD and they decided to sell it. And so they're like, well, I mean, that's legitimately our copyrights. You can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that this hasn't happened sooner. I feel like that was the first thing people would have done with this game.
So the problem isn't that there is a nude mod. It was that he was selling a DVD of their,
Right.
of their...
Maybe the
Of their
only
copyright.
problem it wasn't that there was a nude mod.
That's not the only
problem.
problem.
Oh,
the
okay,
legal
okay,
problem.
okay.
And then lastly, Awesome Games Done Quick was last week, and they managed to raise over $1 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. It's actually still going on right now. I think right now they're at 1.5 million, and that they might go up to 2. Who knows? It's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
And so far, the speedrunning event has actually set several world records during the event, including back-to-back Sonic world records.
Sonic Boom.
Yeah. And look it up. I guarantee there's definitely a game that they ran that would interest you.
I got nothing but respect for speedrunners. Maybe that should have been my New Year's resolution instead of dating sims. Try to figure out that scene, because I definitely haven't engaged in it very much, but
You are
I'm
the
curious.
anti-speedrunner. There is no way you would be good at speedrunning.
Exactly.
You would be the worst.
That's
You
why
would
I'm thinking about it.
absolutely stop because you were interested in something.
Yes, but what is the motivation to go awesomely quick?
But I've never gone left before. Ooh, look at this. Oh, that's very pretty. It's just, Troy, focus.
I want to do the opposite. The game's done slowly.
Yeah.
Do we know if they had Astro's Playroom as one of the things that was being speedrun?
I do not recall if they did it, but I do know they did a Hades run. Was one of the bonus games that they raised money for. And Hades, they did 3 different weapons in less than an hour and a half. They beat Hades 3 different times
that's
with 3 different weapons in less than an hour and a half.
Yeah, it usually takes me about 40 minutes to do one run with one weapon. So you can see how quick that is. Yeah.
Yeah, you should probably look that run up. It was ridiculous, Troy. It was awesome. But yeah, I think that will do it for the news this week. And no turn up for what this week, but we do always have our Gamers Digest. Yum.
So Gamers Digest is our feature to take a video game and then imagine, what if it was a sandwich? I mean, we're the Taste of Dragons, so we gotta get tasty every once in a while. This week, our game to turn into a sandwich will be the mobile hit from 2016, Pokémon Go.
Yeah. And continuing into this year, I mean, it is
Oh,
still a
yes.
powerhouse in
Started
mobile
in
gaming.
2016, has been
Yes.
supported awesomely ever since.
Yeah.
I feel like this has to be some type of to-go
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
option, right?
Absolutely.
It's in the name. So I don't know if that means fast food or like a fast casual, but I want to be able to pick this up and take it somewhere.
Being that the game was made to incentivize you to walk, I feel like it's not fast food.
Okay, but I do think it might be something like a wrap then. It's something you can hold with one hand and still play the
Yes.
game in another. It's about power walking. It's about movement. So I think it's something you can still eat while on the go.
Yes, I think a wrap is the right way to
A
go.
wrap is
I
perfect.
agree.
Okay, I'm just going to throw this out here because it's my favorite type of wrap. A chicken Caesar salad wrap. A chicken Caesar wrap.
I was about to say the same thing.
Oh my god, that is my favorite wrap too.
I'm with you.
I don't know what that has to do with Pokemon. I'll let you all figure that out.
I feel like that's not necessarily the healthiest of wraps, but it is a wrap, I suppose.
It's the most delicious, though.
It is
I'm
the most
gonna
delicious.
say because of the generation that this game reached, that wrap should have avocado in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay.
Ooh.
Avocado to represent leaf types. What is it? Avocado to represent grass types.
There you
right?
go.
So what else can we get to represent some of the other highlights?
Oh, I'm worried about this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with. So the lettuce in a chicken Caesar wrap is Bulbasaur, one of the starter Pokemon of the first generation. I think that perfectly represents Bulbasaur.
Okay.
And then you have inside the little salad dressing, you have Squirtle for the the little watery type there.
Squirrel is the salad dressing, is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
that's what I'm saying.
This is getting gross.
That's a really
sounds gross.
unhealthy Squirtle.
Hey.
Why don't we?
I
Why don't
wasn't
we?
going to get specific.
Let's backtrack a little bit and say that
Okay.
this wrap comes in 3 different varieties: the instinct,
Okay. Oh, I like
the
it.
mystic, and the
Bravery? What's the red one?
What's
the Gryffindor.
the
Valor.
Valor, yes.
I like the Gryffindor.
So maybe there's
category.
like a tomato wrap, a spinach wrap, and then like a whole wheat wrap, and you can get them in the different colors.
I don't know.
for different teams.
Wait. I kind of feel like Instinct is the only one of them that would be good for you. Like it's like some sort of like the pita is actually like made of multigrain. Like it's actually
Golden
more like
wheat.
nan. It's like the Instinct one is really good for you. The
Instinct
Valor one,
is gluten free.
yeah, Instinct is
Instinct is
also
gluten-free.
gluten free. Like everything about the Instinct one is
Oh
good for you.
yeah.
The Valor one is actually spicy. It has
Yes.
and it could be tomato based. It could be everything, and it is just this spicy, good mixture of like heat, some chili in there.
Yeah.
And then the Mystic one is like your basic chicken wrap, your chicken Caesar wrap, because that's the one that everybody likes, and it's just great. And, like it's
feel
not great for you, but it's
That's the
good
chicken Caesar
to
one
eat.
for me.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
the
like it.
Valor one should be a lot. Because anyone in Valor is
Yes.
kind of like a lot.
Put a
This
lot.
is like a buffalo chicken wrap with
yeah.
Yeah.
Put some
buffalo
But it's-
sauce on it.
I like that.
But it's got buffalo sauce,
Put some of Troy's favorite cinnamon in there.
and then there's like bacon in it. Like, like it was enough, and then they put bacon on top of
They
it.
put
And
more.
it's good, but it's like a lot.
I think I'm becoming Team Valor. That sounds great.
Every single one of these wraps comes with avocado in it. It doesn't matter which
Yes,
wrap it
of
Oh
is.
yeah,
course.
They
just
all have
across the
avocado.
board.
Standard.
So
That's the base.
does that make Instinct like what's
It's
it,
like
you
bean
said it's good
sprouts
for you, right?
and tofu and
Kale, I guess.
kale.
Some
Yeah.
tofu.
Every person I've ever met who's like a Team Instinct person is really, really awesome. They're not that they're health conscious, but they're like just a really good, wholesome person who eats
Yeah.
good, wholesome, peaceful things.
Amanda,
So,
you're
like-
Team Instinct.
I am Team Instinct.
You do eat well.
I do eat well.
So there you go.
See what I mean?
I
They're in
don't.
it for the love of the game. That's what they're in it for.
Bingo.
What are you all? What teams are you all on?
Mystic.
I am Mystic.
I am Mystic as well.
I chose mine because there wasn't a green option. I chose blue. That was my next favorite color.
That is also why I chose mine, because there wasn't a green option.
Yeah.
Nice.
Did you ever play the game, Lewis?
I did, but I played it when it came out, and then all my Pokemon got one day deleted, so
And-
then I quit.
and there were no
playing.
teams.
Oh, that's right.
And I quit. I'm like, well, you messed it up. I'm done. You messed it up.
So Lewis, he was eating the sandwich, but then someone dropped it, and
Just dropped
now
the
he
sandwich.
was like,
Yes,
all right,
someone
well, I can't eat
smacked
now.
it out of my hand, and I went, well, I guess that's that.
I guess I'm never eating here again.
So what do we have? We have 3 wraps. We have a chicken Caesar wrap, which is on like a spinach wrap.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
spin,
And then we
like a
have,
spinach,
like-
like a green spinach wrap. Yep.
Like a tomato with buffalo wrap with
Extra bacon.
and avocado. and
extra
then we,
buffalo sauce.
Extra buffalo sauce.
Extra
And then we have like a whole wheat, whole grain,
Tofu
bean
and
sprouts,
bean
tofu
sprouts.
wrap.
Ooh, I like that. I
Wow.
like that one. I like the bean sprouts.
And all of it's on the go. One hand, eat, keep walking,
Yeah.
and go see your favorite places.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think that's Pokemon Go as a sandwich, y'all.
I
Yum.
agree. I agree.
Yum.
Yum, 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 yum.
Nicely
Well,
done, everyone.
That's been our Gamers Digest.
And now that brings us to our Dragon of the Week.
It's the Dragon of the Week, so don't you freak. It's the Dragon of the Week, and it's not meek. Dragon of the Week. Dragon of the Week is our chance to learn a little bit about the industry. Whether it's a person, place, or company, we love to know more about the people behind the games that we love to talk about. So Brian is going to bring to you our Dragon of this week. Take it away, Dragon Brian. I said dragon so much, I just replaced your name with
You were
dragon.
just about to say.
You know,
dragon.
I'll take it. I'll take it. This week, I'm going to be doing an entire gaming company called Toys for Bob. They are the creators of two of my favorite franchises ever. I would say them, but it would spoil
Final
it.
Fantasy.
Yeah. I said of my. So you know what? Let me take you away. Let me whisk you away back to the late 1970s. Disco is booming and dying somehow at the same time. People are trying to remember a specific night in September. And two nerds who don't know each other are graduating from the University of California, Berkeley.
A mustache just appeared on my face for some reason.
I know, right? These amazing people were by the name of Paul Reich III and Fred Ford. They just so happened to go into the video game industry through different means. Ford, a programmer, was working creating games for Japanese computers before going into graphics at Silicon Valley. And Reich, an artist and designer, first started out working at TSR, the publishers of Dungeons and Dragons, before transitioning into game development at Free Fall Associates. So now, flash forward to the late 80s. Michael J. Fox is either traveling through time or becoming a wolf. People just want to dance with somebody. And these two nerds still don't know each other. But that was all about to change.
And I just grew a mullet somehow.
Yeah. And you're somehow playing the stocks and you don't know what you're doing. Reich's friend helped secure him a 3-game deal with Accolade, which means he was in need of a programmer. And at that same time, Ford was getting fed up with the graphics companies and wanted to get back to his roots of the game industry. So their mutual friend set up what was basically a play date with the two of them at one of their friends' house and was like, you both like baseball, have fun. I don't know. I just imagine that's what was said. You can't change my mind, all right?
Yeah,
that's just what I...
It's like when your mom brings you over to like her friend's kid and it's like, you two play with each other. I'm sure you'll like each other. And you're like, all right, mom.
All right. He likes Sonic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So... shocked to no one listening to this story, they both became friends.
Cool.
The company they formed needed a name, so with the help of Risha's wife, they came up with Toys for Bob. And I'll come back to that name at the end of this entire thing and the reasoning behind it. But
thank you.
The first game they created together was a little joint called Star Control. Yeah, they nailed it from the get-go. It was voted the best science fiction game by Video Games and Computer Entertainment. And off of this success, they developed Star Control 2, which was one of my favorite games of all time.
I'm guessing this is a flight simulator, but with a space,
something like that. It is a game in space where you kind of are the last of humanity.
Oh no!
And you interact with all these other alien. Civilizations, and you team up to take down.
It's like a simulator?
It's not a simulator. It's more like an RPG. Yeah, it's kind of more like
like a civilization,
like an action RPG. You're steering like a spaceship.
You play as a character, as like a set of characters. There's a story, something along that line. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a huge story too.
And is it like a 2D thing or a first person or what? You move a character around?
Oh, it's definitely 2D. It's definitely 2D, top down. You're looking down at your spaceship as it's going through space.
Okay,
and
cool.
They actually have I think almost 1,000 different systems in it, which each have their own planets and their own orbits and everything. Like they did a lot with this.
It's like the original No Man's Sky.
It is. And this is, like I said, one of my favorite games of all time. And what was funny is I didn't realize that they created this when I was first looking up this company. It was for a different game that I'm going to get to later.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love that.
And I was just like, oh my God, they made Star Control too.
And it's like, of course
Oh
they
my
did.
God.
Of course they did.
Of course they did. And to actually create the game, they brought in Greg Johnson, who created a game called Starflight. And Johnson was a friend of Reach's, and he was credited by both Reach and Ford as having the biggest impact on the game. However, the game ran both late and over budget, and money from Accolade had completely dried up. So Ford personally paid the team's salary during the last couple of months of development. And it's a good thing he did, because that game was an even bigger deal than Star Control 1. So now, imagine, the year is now 1992. Parachute pants were everywhere, and you couldn't touch them. And so the company was offered to do yet another Star Control game. But they said, nah, we want to do something else. But we'll license you the content so you can create one. So Accolade was making another Star Control 3. They ended up entering a publishing agreement with Crystal Dynamics.
Hey, they make the Tomb Raider.
Yes, that's Crystal Dynamics. And made games for them for the next 10 years. But they created a multitude of games, from the full-motion game The Horde, which had both Martin Short and Kirk Cameron acting in it.
Wait, seriously? What is the name of that game?
Seriously. The Horde. It was released in 1994.
I think we have our next friend zone for Wednesday, y'all. Get ready.
From that game to Pandemonium, to their last game, which was a licensed game called 102 Dalmatians, Puppies to the Rescue. And however, unfortunately, Crystal Dynamics decided after they released that one to fire everyone at Toys for Bob.
Oh, no.
So they ended up just reforming the company as an independent company again and decided to find another publisher. And this was, year 2002. Let's just go with that. So this publisher would become Activision. And that was all thanks to some former employees of Toys for Bob who had formed their own company, and that company got acquired by Activision. So they kind of introduced them to their bosses, like, hey, these are cool guys to work with. You should work with them. So Activision had been seeing how well the licensed games that Toys for Bob had been releasing were selling. So they offered them the Disney license that would become Disney's Extreme Skate Adventures. Yeah, that was an actual game that released in 2003.
I have no idea what the premise of that game would be. I'm only imagining you doing sick kick flips off of It's a Small World or something.
I agree. But it could also be ice skating. I don't know.
Oh, that's even better than what I thought.
Right? But that game did so well. Activision actually acquired the company in 2005 and then continued to put out licensed games. Now flash forward to the late 2000s. Jeans were so skinny they were cutting off circulation. People were just dancing to Lady Gaga.
And somehow I have frosted tips.
Right? And unfortunately, even though their games were well crafted and good, due to the economic crash, their games were not selling very well anymore. So they needed to come up with something new, something to jazz it up. So their character designer, Ai Wei Huang, came up with an idea to merge toys and games. And with the help of technical engineer Robert Leyland, they came up with the design and technical know-how in order to make it work on consoles. But they needed something to make it click with people. And Activision said, hey, here's all of our intellectual property that we haven't done anything with.
I see where this is going.
What would you like to have? Here's all of our old properties. And so they saw, and they're like, hey, there's this purple dragon that would fit in perfectly with the universe that we're creating. And they chose, that's right, Spyro.
Hey.
And this would become the mega blockbuster franchise, Skylanders, Spyro's Adventure.
Holy crap, that's a journey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And now, again, this is what I started with. I started with Spyro's, and I was like, oh my God, Star Control 2. This is crazy. And so now the story on how that game even came to fruition is amazing on its own and includes them learning how to make toys, the Activision CEO personally giving them an extra year to work on the game, to the consternation of all the other executives at the company, and also being turned down by Nintendo to release it exclusively for the Wii.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
They turned them down.
Damn, Nintendo, once again, you missed the ball.
I know, and then they released Amiibos, which
And
just
then they
ripped them
stole
off.
it.
But whatever.
And they stole the idea. but
That's
whatever.
business, baby.
That's exactly what happened to PlayStation. They were like, "Nah, PlayStation, we're good. Oh, let's
Yeah.
get working on that GameCube."
Yeah. And then after Skylanders dried up, though, they would make the Spyro Reignited trilogy to critical acclaim.
Oh yeah.
And they actually most recently released Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time.
Oh, they're behind that game as well?
Yeah, they're behind that too.
Oh, wow.
They're just in charge of our childhood, I guess.
They are. They are the gatekeepers, and they are doing a great job of it.
Just keep bringing
And so-
back things that I already like. Damn it.
Yeah. And this company is just absolutely amazing, but I don't want to leave you hanging on how they came up with the name.
Yes.
So Paul Reish's wife is a poet, and so she said to create a name that generates interest, that doesn't distance yourself from people, and that you can reinvent.
Oh, okay.
So Paul Reish actually loved toys, so I was like, boom, let's go with it. And then Bob is a universal name, so boom, let's do that.
Oh.
And so they actually have an official rule at the company, which is that everyone gets their own Bob, by which that means that if somebody asks, hey, who's Bob? The employee can just say a random Bob that only they have in order to confuse people, because everyone at the company has a unique Bob and will give a different answer depending on who they ask.
Wow. So their own fictional Bob.
That's great.
Yes,
They
or even
have-
just somebody who's actually real, but they have to make sure that it's completely unique to them. So they actually, whenever they start the company, they come up with their own Bob.
Somewhere there is a
fantastic.
Bob Excel sheet in that company.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure Manda's in charge of it somehow. I don't know how, but it's an Excel spreadsheet. She's got to be in charge of it. But yeah, reading the story, it was hilarious. So my hat is off to you, Toys for Bob. Thank you for creating two of my favorite games / franchises ever. Like,
That's
it's
fantastic.
amazing.
Thanks so much, Brian. That's a really cool story. And thank you for the time traveling journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I
thought
have
it
a
was fun.
mustache and a frosted mullet that I need to somehow get rid of. Thanks.
What do you mean? You can just start diners, drive-ins, and dives, and you could be.
No, I feel like I'm just getting ready for the Tiger King sequel now with that trio.
Welcome to Flavortown. It's inhabited by tigers.
But cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. But unfortunately, that brings us to the end of this week's episode.
Ba-boom-ba-boom.
But you can always find us online.
That's right. Make sure to check us out on twitch.tv/tasteofdragons. That's where we, the dragons, split up and we all take a different night of the week and have unique program for each night, except Tuesdays. So please stop by, check us out, drop a follow, drop a subscribe, chat, or even just chat to us. We'll be there. Check out what we're doing on Instagram. That's where you'll find our schedule. On Instagram @Taste of Dragons. Make sure to follow us there as well. But the fun doesn't stop just at Instagram, because on Twitter, we have devoted our account to highlighting and promoting indie games. And Mandy, who's in charge of that account, do you have an indie game this week that stood out to you that you'd like to tell the people?
I actually have an update on one of the indie games that we've talked about previously, is Prim on Twitter for a really long time, and their Steam page just dropped. So if you haven't wish listed Prim yet, Prim is a point-and-click adventure game. It's all black and white, and it's a little bit like in the style of Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, but it's about the daughter of death. It's very adorable. The art is wonderful, and I highly recommend it. That is Prim, Prim, on Steam.
Thank you very much, Mandy, for that update. And with that, I'm going to toss it back to Brian.
Thank you. And as always, though, my name is Brian.
My name is Troy.
Amanda.
I'm Lewis.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
The
Taste of
Dragons.
Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you. And you have a great week as well, Brian.
And you over there. Good week. Have a good week.
Always for Bob the Builder.
Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast, a podcast for everyone's taste.